Welcome in once again to another Heroes Land video. My name is Glanzer and welcome. Today we're going to be taking on the Yeti Duo. The Yeti Duo is a dungeon type, just like Nergal and Ishtar and those ones, the Dragon's Lair, excuse me. We also have the gear. Nergal set is suggested. We also have the Tiamats for the lifesteal. We're going to do something a little bit different than that. Weapons though, the biggest thing I would say is the Anunnaki's Grasp. I do like the Tiamats for the lava meteors, but we're gonna change that up a little bit as well. We're gonna show you our build here right now. So the Bomberman is to survive the Ice Blast, and we'll explain what that is in a little bit. You could go with the Tiamats and use the ability, and it's good damage, but I found that I was always kind of far away from them and ended up not really being able to hit. So you're gonna wanna run this guy because he does extra fire damage. This guy gives you more attack speed and damage when you're sitting still. And then this guy gives you more attack in general. So, companions, a lot of different options, but I would say definitely have the flame guy. Otherwise, companion is kind of your own, whatever you think is good. For the weapons, I'm gonna do the lunar occlusion so I can use the stamina regen off of that. That's gonna be important for us. Anunnaki's Grasp, and then I'm going to use the Abyssal Codex just because of the Kraken's Touch and how the mechanics work. I'll explain to you why I think that's a good idea to use. We also have the Dust Curse Boost. The attack speed is basically the reason we're using that one. And then this one we have 15% lifesteal plus the 25 damage resist under debuffs. That's going to be important, so note that. We're doing the Kraken's Necklace just for the chance to get more tentacles, and it's pretty good attack and crits. You could do something like maybe the Abyssal Heart Pendant wouldn't be bad. You have a couple other options. And then we're doing the Larva Ring for the shield to have as much damage, resistance, and shield as we possibly can. And the reason for that is because the Yeti Duo, the biggest thing, the fight itself isn't very hard as long as you keep up the damage and keep the lifesteal up. But at a certain point, you're going to get frozen and you're going to get stuck there. You're going to take a ton of damage, and they use an ability that just chunks a ton of damage. So if you're not really high health at that point, if you don't have some damage reduction, if you're not a high level, if you don't have good HP, you'll get one shot by that. So for instance, you set them up something like this, straight down and then straight up, and then you would just be going back and forth like this, and the freeze when it happens would miss you. And the problem with that is that they can blow these things up, so you have to do it in good time, and it's kind of hard to get the thing right. And then another thing is you see that there's two of them, right? I mean, it is a duo. As a duo, when one of them dies, the other one will start recharging its health. If you don't defeat the other one in time, then that one will respawn. So part of the goal of this is also to keep both of their health relatively low. And I think once you kill one, the other one gets a little bit of a health boost too, so it's a little bit misleading. But you want to try to keep them both as low as possible so that they would die at a similar time. So all right, let's get into it. And we're the Bomberman because if the Bomberman dies, he'll respawn. So if the situation comes that we're not in a good spot for surviving, then the Bomberman will help us out a lot. And also, the Bomberman has weapon cooldown stuff and allows you to, every time you use a spell, it uses a bomb on them. So that's important to note because that's going to give us a ton of extra value. So here we take a lot of damage there. They're about to drop it, and so we do survive, right? So that is not too bad, but now we have to survive this part as we try to get our HP up. And something important is to make sure that your Anunnakis, I gotta try to do more damage to this guy. Make sure that your Anunnakis is hitting both of them at all times, because when they do freeze you, you're gonna want to be still hitting them with the Anunnakis on the freeze, even though, you know, you'll be sitting there. But you'll see what happens here. So the respawn isn't too long. So here, will we die? I don't think so. We should be fine. But you see all the heal I'm getting while I'm sitting there? Oh, so the other guy does the damage there. Okay, so we're pretty safe. I'm not sure. Yeah, we should outpace this guy for damage. We should outpace him for damage. Oh, we gotta make sure we're not getting hit by all those ice things, though. That was scary. But the reason that we're using the combo with the tentacles is that when we're frozen and potentially taking a ton of damage, those things can still potentially be hitting and getting lifesteal. So you can tell that that fight isn't that hard when you get the setup right and when you get the, you know, when you can have the survival. Ooh, the snowfall band, that's new. When you get the survival figured out, this guy really helps because if you do get in a situation where you do die from one of those explosions, you'll survive one of them because of him. So if you kill the other guy first, maybe he'll never freeze you. If you kill the other guy, there's no big damage. So killing one of them really limits the value of that. That's the Yeti Duo. It's probably similar in Yeti Duo 2, but typically the second and third ones are pretty hard to solo. Get in a group and everybody work together on that one. One of the few that I would say take it on in a group, but you do see that it is soloable here, and I'm sure you can do it on the second one, but I'm not sure about the third one. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you so much. And if you want to check out more videos, make sure you subscribe and check out the Heroes Lands playlist. Heroes Land playlist that should be popping above my head somewhere right now, and that will get you all the videos that I've done. I do a lot of different games, so it's hard to find the content sometimes, but if you go to that playlist, you'll find every Heroes Land video. You'll find all the tips and tricks that you'll ever need to know to beat all the bosses and become the best hero in the land. We'll see you guys on the next one.